Live from America's heartland, this is the Daily Truth Report with your host, Noah Christopher.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. I am your host, Noah, and we've got our old friend, Bo Polny, back with us today. Bo, welcome back.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure to be here. And this is my third interview for today, so I'm really excited to talk with you, Noah. This is going to be so awesome to really go through specific details of how we're stepping into a really awesome and really scary moment in time. But again, scary is a relative term because it depends on what side of the fence you're sitting on.
Well, I'm excited myself to get the update. You texted me yesterday and said, "Hey, I've got some big news to share, big updates, and can we come on and do a show?" So that always gets me excited to have you on. And I'm just here like everybody else. I just get a front row seat to get to listen to you and be able to ask some questions. So I can't wait to see it. Bo, let me set the stage real quick. I always like to say, since you are the analyst of time, time's very important. So the date today that we're recording this is January 20th, 2024. And I always like to check in and see, since we talk about the markets a lot, Bitcoin is at 41,800. It's been following that path that you've been outlining. We talked about last time, and of course in your newsletter. We'll get to that at the end. Stick around. Bo has some big updates on that. But with that, let me turn this on, and I want to go. Let's see. Is there a download code in here, Bo?
86.
So everybody, go ahead and grab. The link will be below this video too. You can grab these slides. There's a lot in here. We're not going to be able to get to all of it, but I definitely encourage everybody to download the slides and keep them. I know a lot of people keep old archives of these and then read through them on their own. You can scan this QR code that's on the screen, or you can use the download link below this video and grab them. So please grab those. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Bo and let him walk us through what we're looking at.
Thanks, Noah. I do appreciate all you do with your website. It's truly a blessing. You are a diligent worker. You're like me. You just, you keep plowing away. You don't stop. You keep working, and I appreciate that about you. So, thank you for all that you do. Thanks for having me on your channel to spread the word. And what is the word? The good news. I know there's a lot of crazy going on out there, scary, but ultimately it is the good news. And we're going to see how all of what's happening in a very short window of time can flip. When God intervenes, what you see is everything that becomes scary becomes incredible. And so we're stepping into, and we're really in a very critical shift in time. I want to emphasize, we're at this moment in time. This is what I want to say so clearly that I've said on your podcast and speaking with you numerous times, and I'm sure you can reiterate this, but we're at a moment in time that if God revealed the day that he would strike evil or the hour that he might do it, then there's a possibility that all of his plans wouldn't happen and he'd have to do a redo, figure it out. The point is, God's doing all of this in his perfect timing. I'm trying to do math using scriptures and to calculate when the time points could be. You and I have watched and witnessed some incredible shifts and calculations that have just manifested, that have just been biblical, because they are. But on the other side of it, we're at this moment in time where we are literally waiting for the fulfillment of a 2,500 year time point. Mm. And why I'm saying that is because a prophecy was given to Daniel 2,500 years ago about the fall of Mystery Babylon, the fall of Babylon. Okay, and so that prophecy is on page 3. So this prophecy shows you that, first off, the reason God gave this interpretation to Daniel to give to Nebuchadnezzar, to show the world from that point forward that there is a God, and God writes the end from the beginning. That's the point of this prophecy. Mm-hmm. To illustrate to the world that there is a God. His name is Yahweh. But God the Father wrote the end at the beginning. And that can be illustrated by just because the fact of the prophecy tells you that we know Persia existed. We know Greece existed. We know the papacy existed and exists. Okay, we've seen all of these things happen, but this has happened over 2,500 years. So now we're at a moment in time where potentially, I believe that as the year 2023 ends or ended, and we step into a year 2024, we are supposed to see the next page, which is for the fall of Babylon, Mystery Babylon. Okay. The problem is no one knows. You go to the next page. No one knows the day this is going to go down, but we're here. That's all. So we're here. We're at a moment in time. This is supposed to happen, but we don't know the day it's going to happen. Is it tomorrow? Is it a week from now, 2 from now, 3 weeks from now? But we're here. It's not in 6 months from now. Okay. So we're at a moment in time. It's at a transition point as 23 ends and 24 begins. So as 23 ends, 24 begins, over 2,000 years, it makes no difference if it's a day here or a week there. It's literally now, if that makes sense.
Yes, that's great. We're ready.
We're ready. And then so if you look at page 5, what are we waiting? Page 5 is the fulfillment of Revelation 18. Fallen is Babylon the Great. She has become a dwelling place for demons. So let me explain, if I can have you understand this, and we've talked about it prior, is the fall of Babylon. The better question to ask is, how do you know Babylon fell? When its money falls. Okay. And we've said that before, because why? Because until the money falls, like what happened in the market crash of March 2020, we watched it happen together. That was a cycle time point. It happened. We didn't see a crash yet in December. Okay. But the market crash of 2020, they printed $7 trillion after the crash on the weekend, and they pumped it back in the markets, and everything's fixed.
I remember that. Yep.
So my point is that even if the markets crashed in December or now in January, we still could have a sharp drop here into month end. Okay. But even as the markets crash, what are they going to do? The same thing they did in March of 2020. They're going to create trillions of dollars over the weekend, stick it back in the market, and everything's fixed.
Okay. Yes. Right.
So, and then Babylon continues. Because since the crash of March 2020, guess what? Babylon's continued, has it not?
Yes, definitely.
Has anything changed? Has the evil gone away? Like, has anything really drastically? We got wars going on now because seals are opening. Okay, but my question is: has anything really changed on the check mark of, hey, this is really great news?
No,
because every time a news happens, that's great. They stick a finger in the dam and they plug it up.
That's right. Or you get some distraction. Some
exactly.
new thing. Yep.
And so every time something good happens, like, oh, you hear it good for a day, then tomorrow they stick a finger in it, and next thing you know, the problem's gone, and they talk about something else, a distraction, talk about something else, And so this has been going on, and it's still going on to this very day. What I'm trying to illustrate, until God intervenes, there's no change. I'm going to repeat that. Until a 24-hour window manifests on our earth, where God the Father steps in and sends or does something of biblical magnitude to stop this evil regime, nothing that we can possibly do can stop a worldwide syndicate controlled by a fallen angel, an L, okay? Remember, the L are very simple. They're angels, okay? An angel visited Mary to tell Mary that she's going to have a son and call him Jesus. An angel visited Joseph to tell Mary, hey, make sure you marry her because she's not making up stories, okay? The point is, an angel showed up, but these are good angels. But then there's a whole other group of them called the fallen ones.
That's right.
Okay, the lowercase g's, okay?
Yep.
It's a big thing going on. Everyone's like, the L, they are on the earth, but these are the lowercase g's, the fallen ones. And they do what? Deceive humanity. And where are they written in the Bible? Revelation 2, verse 9. They hide themselves. They are the fake Jews saying that they are, but they hide themselves among humanity and they cause deception. And that's what they're doing.
And
so they're, yes.
When you say, just for everybody listening, when you say the L, you're saying EL, the words EL, and that's really short for
Elohim.
Elohim, and that's a word that you see all over the Bible. So I just wanted to, if people I want them to be able to follow along to that. That's a shorthand for Elohim, and Elohim, like you say, very clearly talks about spiritual beings, angels, fallen angels. They're all in that same. It's like a big bucket category that they all fall under. The good, good angels, bad angels. That's your Elohim, and that is straight out of the Bible.
Right. And so who is Satan, right? And so there's one person, I'm not gonna say a name, but on the saying, basically throwing everybody in the same bucket and calling all the L evil. Okay. Well, that's not possible because angels came to Joseph and Mary, tell them they're gonna have a son. There's all over the Bible, there's good angels that show up. What's the first thing a good angel says to you?
Yeah, they say
fear not.
Yep.
Because they're
huge.
scary. They're huge, right?
Yeah.
Fear not. That's the first thing an angel, an Elohim will say when they show up to you. Fear not, because God the Father sent me.
Yep.
They're messengers. But at the same time, too, there's a group of them, and led by whose name was Lucifer, in heaven, cast out by now he's named God. Remember, when he does something, he renames. So he starts over. So he renamed him Satan, but his name was Kal-El. Okay, Kal-El. And that's actually why Superman has that name, okay? Because it's all deception. If people you missed that, go watch a Superman movie. And so these people, they're lowercase g's, the people, they're entities, fallen angels. They've interbred with humanity. And so that's the reason for the bloodlines, that, the royal bloodline, these bloodlines. But so kind of a little off on a tangent, but I'm trying to get people to understand that what's happening is the word deception in the world. And so these fallen ones are deceiving humanity to think that what they're doing is good, but they're working for the fallen one. And this goes back all the way to the garden when and all because of the garden and evil being on the earth right now. And so because evil's on the earth, evil's created an empire. The empire right now is called Babylon. And Babylon is the empire that we work and live in every single day. And Babylon is controlling humanity with what, Noah? The
Money.
U.S.
Yep.
Dollar.
Yep.
See, when we want to control somebody, next thing you know, you have a big plane fly out with pallets of money, and next thing you know, everything's fixed. Or they can, so see what they do. It's all about the money, the money, the money. What are they doing without the wars, right? What are we doing? We're sending our money, which is what? U.S. dollar money, to other countries to fund wars, to protect, right? But bottom line is you're funding a war, you see? And the critical thing that you got to understand is we're funding it with what? The U.S. dollar. You see, the U.S. dollar, the federal, not federal, the reserve, not a reserve, note means it's paper, is what is causing evil to control humanity, because they can create it out of thin air to infinity. JFK actually stated very clearly they have an unlimited money supply.
That's right. They do. They truly do. Yes. And what are we at now, Bo? How many trillions?
Right. Well, no, they're not even trillions, quadrillions. 1,000 trillion is a quadrillion, and we're in the several quadrillion already, and no one knows the money supply. So in 2024, we're in the quadrillions, which would take you 31 million years just to count to one quadrillion, not sleeping, but a million in the 70s would take you 12 days.
Wow.
So in other words, the money's moved from a droplet of money to an ocean of money, to give people an understanding. And then how that manifests in the physical is a home in the 70s was worth $30,000. Today worth $500 to $1 million. The house is older. It's decrepit after 50 years, but your house is now worth $500,000 to $1 million because the droplet of money turned into an ocean.
Yep, that's right.
So your house isn't anything special. It's 50 years old if you bought it in the 70s, okay? It's probably in a bad area on top of that, okay? But it's worth $1 million because of the money supply.
Yep.
Okay? And so when people look at their bank statements, what are they seeing? Digits on a piece of paper. When you log into your bank account, you see digits on your computer screen. You can print that up, and now it's on a piece of paper. But all you're seeing is digits on a piece of paper or on your computer screen, okay? Digits, paper, they burn in a fire. If you don't understand finance, you don't understand history, you don't understand money, what you're going to find out is that when Caesar's got no clothes and God flips the financial tables, the financial system is going to blow up. You will find out that it's a complete and utter fraud, and the stock market is nothing but a complete and utter fraud. Those that are so fixated on the stock market and watching us moving it every day, people, you're watching a fraud manifest in front of yourself every day. I feel sad for you because you honestly believe it's real. It's money made out of thin air. All you have to do is click buttons, put money back in the market, and next thing you know, the candlesticks move. Okay, that's all that's going on. And we're at a point in time where the money is so large that we're talking quadrillions of dollars. And so no one's going to stop these people because they have high-speed computers to do all this stuff. So no man can stop these people. And that's why the point I have on this slide here, when you go one slide above on page 4, it basically says, while you were watching, we get to watch this. A stone, Jesus Christ, meaning God, cut up by no human hand, strikes this statue of iron and clay and smashes it to pieces. We are about to witness the fall of a 2,500 year statue or prophecy, and we're just trying to figure out when this thing goes down. But actually, I've got some additional revelation in the past 2-3 days. That's why I reached out to you, because I wanted to show you, Noah, and your viewers. And I'm thinking by the time I'm done with these, you're going to go, whoa.
I can't wait to hear it. Oh, so, hey, Bo, before we get into that, one other thing I wanted to bring up when you were talking about the L, before I forget, I never realized this until recently, but the L in Elohim, of course, it's short for that, but L-E-L. If you look at the names of the angels, they often end in E-L. And I guess maybe I'm the only one that never noticed that before, but what are the two most
Gabriel, Michael.
Yep, Gabriel, Michael. Then you got Azazel, you've got a whole bunch, Raphael, and I never realized that, but those are all named that way because they put the EL at the end, and it's
right.
And
say that is exactly what you said is perfectly correct, but that's why Satan, he's a deceiver, because his name really was never Satan. So Satan's true name is Hallel.
There you go. There it is, and that's what you said earlier. That's right.
So Satan's true name was Hallel. And then when he was cast out of, that's why when you see Superman, it's always the opposite, right? And so he's not coming here to save humanity. Right. These are gods, right? Save Superman's a god.
Of course. Yeah, right.
He's a lowercase g, but he's a god. Okay? And so his name was Hallel.
Interesting.
Elohim.
Wow.
Okay? And so cast out of heaven, whose name was changed to Satan. Wow. And when he was cast out, a third of the angels went with him because they rebelled against God. See, this is the part, okay, that people don't understand. All the L's, the good and the bad, they're all the creation.
That's right.
You have to understand this, okay? It's a magnitude of this. They're a creation by a creator. So there's no, I love when my good friend Arthur Pawlowski states, there's a picture on the internet of Satan arm wrestling Jesus. See, it's a joke,
right?
Because the creator would never arm wrestle a creation, because the creator, with a breath of his nostril, could destroy the creation.
That's right. But that's the twisted thinking that they try to get you to think. Oh, they're just equal powers. Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah,
not even close. That's why when you go back and the example is when you study examples in the scripture, what happened at the Red Sea. This was literally an evil spirit of demonic entities. They're sun gods, they're sun worship. That's where they have the sun stuff and all the logos with the sun. Everything. They're sun gods. They worship the sun. But basically, you have to understand. So these are all demonic entities that worship the sun. S-U-N.
Right.
Okay, lowercase s. And so they were their sun gods, but they were against God and trying to kill the creator's firstborn, chosen Israel. And what did God do? He used Israel as bait. They walked into the Red Sea and he destroyed them in 24 hours. That was the greatest screw up by evil in history until Jesus was born.
That's right.
And then they thought that they got him. They killed Jesus to make the now greatest of greatest screw up by evil ever in history by killing Jesus, only to have him be resurrected on the third day, fulfill scriptures, and become the final Adam to undo what was done in the garden.
Yes. You
see, so God uses all things for his glory. He uses evil and has them walk into traps. So now what's set up? The greatest trap in human history. So as awesome as the Red Sea was, as incredible as the resurrection of Christ was, because they thought that they won. 3 days later, they realized it was the greatest screw up they could ever have done. They can't even, if you watch the movies, they can't even call him Jesus. They call him the carpenter. They can't even reference his name. These don't even want to hear the name Jesus. They freak out.
It's funny, Bo. I just published an article on that. I always thought it's so weird. Anytime it's a political election season, that they always refer to evangelicals. I've never heard anyone in my whole life in churches or communities of Christians. We don't call ourselves evangelicals, but they do that because they don't want to put the word Christian on the news over and over and over.
Yes.
Isn't that fascinating?
Oh yeah. They do not. And also, like, just a perfect example is I've known this for a long time, but I know people that have been involved over the years. I've been to many conferences, and people have actually been in contact with aliens. And every single, this is crazy, because every single, there's documented cases all over this, okay, but they hide this. But there's hundreds of documented cases. There's probably been, what are thousands or hundreds of abductions, okay? But 100%, this is not 80%, not 100% of the time, 100% of the time, the name Jesus is referenced in any abduction or alien encounter, immediately the experience is over.
Yeah. That's true.
100% of the time.
Yep.
Because these they're the fallen ones. The lowercase g's, the ones that were cast out of heaven. These are demonic entities, and they are directly related to everything we're talking about, because that then kind of takes us onto our journey here that we want to talk about. So,
and we don't have time to get into it right now, Bo, but I just threw this up on the screen when you were talking about the Red Sea and the plagues in Egypt. For people that don't know, it's fascinating. You can look it up, and you can just screenshot this right now. But every plague that hit Egypt, they correspond directly to one of the gods that the Egyptians worshipped, lowercase g gods, which really are these fallen Elohim angels. So funny that, and then all the way down to the very final one attacking the Pharaoh himself. But anyway, we don't have time to get into that right now, but it's really fascinating stuff if you dig into it.
Right, because God uses, he mocks them. And this is the thing, because God knows, he knows everything. He knows his enemies. And the point is, he knows the end from the beginning. So right now, he's just like what you illustrated there with those gods. There's present day entities that are on this earth. The same spirits, basically, the same spirits of old. They're just occupying new people.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
They're occupying same spirits. And these people, this is the crazy part. These people actually said yes.
Mm-hmm.
How insane is this?
Mm-hmm.
These people actually let evil in.
Yep.
They let it in, and they enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is called demonic possession.
It is.
Okay. And so now let's get into furthermore calendars and timing. Okay. So the article you're looking at right there, that's basically, Zero had literally saying yesterday, Friday, the 19th, that they had the 6.3 million market were suspended because of China's stock market hit rock bottom after a $6.3 trillion market loss.
Wow.
So I'm just showing you that everything's falling apart, but the U.S. economy, they're printing money and they're pushing it into the markets to make everything look, it's all good, right? Mm-hmm. But the markets are a fraud. The stock markets are a fraud. And if you're involved in them, you have 401ks and IRAs, you have nothing but you're holding on to digits backed by a fraud. Mm-hmm. If you don't own I'm not giving financial advice. I'm telling you, when you read Haggai 2, verse 8, it says, the silver and the gold are mine, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Even if you took 1 trillion of that money to spend it on gold and silver, there's not enough gold and silver above ground for $1 trillion.
Wow.
Okay. And they're talking 6 trillion here. This is how much money that they create. There isn't $1 trillion worth of gold and all the silver in the world. Okay. So my point is, we're at, you've been weighing the balances and found wanting. Your kingdom, Babylon, has come to an end. Mm. Now, but who's in control right now? Good or evil?
Yeah, evil, the money printers.
Exactly. It's just a very simple answer. Who's in control? Evil. Okay. Yep. Until the 24-hour mark happens where God intervenes, and we will know. Trust me, when God intervenes or something biblical happens, you're gonna know. Okay. The war that broke out, that was a biblical time, but that wasn't like a biblical event. Okay. A biblical event is when like something wild beyond, like, we know what a war is. Okay. That happened before. This just the 50-year war that just happened with 73, what happened in October, that just confirmed that we're on a Leviticus cycle of 50 years. Get it? It happened exactly at the end of 50 years. The Yom Kippur War ended up being the Tabernacle War, which is now, why Israel is in war right now. And that just confirmed we're in 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Roe v. Wade's 50 years. Abortions, Roe v. Wade's 50 years. We've got Nixon and the petrodollar is 52 years, but basically 50 years with Kissinger and the petrodollar contract with Saudi Arabia. Okay. So what I want to go to is the next slide. So let's understand why they are in control and what they are going to do and when they will likely do it. Like, when would they likely do something, Noah? Probably on one of their God's appointed times, right? Their God's appointed times. Would you not agree? Would you agree with me?
You bet.
Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So let's go to slide 8. This is what God revealed. I go, God, can you please explain to me the calendars? Because there's like 3 of them. I really want explanation on them. He goes, when you ask people, like, why don't you, like, because, you know, what Bo says, everybody can do this. Just go into a quiet place and learn to commune with God. Yeah. He reveals things. How I know this is from God, because this came to me in a matter of like 5 minutes. It was so clear that there's no way that I could do this stuff. And yet it's like simple. Okay. And so what I want people to understand is, we talk about, you know, going back at ancient times, okay, the Roman Empire. Noah, we are still in Rome.
Yeah.
The Gregorian calendar is a Roman calendar. Going to repeat that. The Gregorian calendar that we use is a Roman calendar based on 10 months. Rome, the calendar of Rome only has 10 months. Notice the Gregorian calendar is actually a Roman calendar, hidden in plain sight. Want a perfect example? What does DEC mean? DEC?
10.
Yeah.
Yep.
December.
Yep.
What is octagon?
Yeah.
How many
8.
points is that? 8.
Yeah.
What does sept mean?
7.
Huh. Interesting. Augustus, named after Caesar Augustus. Quintus means 5. Luno means June, which is 6, fertility. It's just, you just go, all of this is Latin.
Wow. And they're shifted by 2, I guess, right?
Yes. So that's why I put them into, because they don't count the first 2 months. That's why, you know, the skull and bones is what, 322? You know why? It's the first month.
Yeah.
First month.
Huh.
March.
Wow.
This just came to me that, like, it just, simple. God just reveals. Because we're in what? Revelation. He's revealing. Okay. So what is January? January is a door. The definition of the Latin definition of Janus is January, Janus, the god of God, lowercase g of Janus. The god of Janus is their god. So when would they do something on their God's appointed time? What does Janus say in Latin? It's a doorway and entrance. It's a god of transition. Interesting. It's a 2-headed entity facing in opposite directions. It's a new beginning. Interesting. Let's go to page 9.
Okay.
There is your God. There is their god of Janus.
Oh, wow.
It's the god of transition. In Latin, it's a doorway and entrance, a 2-headed face in opposite directions, one looking backwards to the past and the other looking forwards into the future, into a what? New beginning. So this is their God. So if they're going to do something, and what do we hear about the BRICS? Then the BRICS just, Saudis just joined as a one. We've got 11 nations now with the BRICS. Like, isn't all of this just going down right now? And what are they trying to do? Bring on a what? A central bank digital currency, huh? To enslave humanity and bring on a credit score system? Is that not what they're trying to do? And wouldn't that not be all a continuation of Babylon? Would it not? Would a central bank digital currency controlling humanity and what you post, what you talk about, and isn't that all of control mechanism of Babylon? I think it is. Right. And so now it's interesting because those then there's also those New Agers, right? The New Age, because that's Satan's going to use God's calendar and he's going to deceive. And that's what you get to the age of Aquarius. Well, beginning tomorrow, the 21st, and into all of next week is the transition point where Pluto enters the Aquarius. So we're entering an age of Aquarius. So all the New Agers, it's a doctrine, it's a deception. All the New Agers, they're going to basically do what? This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, right? So we're going to see a birth when? In Janus, a transition point into a new age. But this is their calendar, and they're bringing on the transition of what are they going to transition us as in the age of Aquarius? What are they going to try to do? They're going to try to bring on what? A worldwide enslaving control system.
And just for everybody listening, this is not the new stuff Bo is studying and promoting. What he's trying to tell you is this is what they're looking at. This is what the evil people in control. This is how they think. This is the type of stuff. You think this stuff is all nonsense and garbage, and you know the horoscopes in the newspaper, that is just garbage. But these people believe and follow this stuff, right, Bo?
Yeah, these are their gods.
Yeah.
These are their gods.
Yeah, they take this very seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, but what have the prophets said? We're not entering an age of Aquarius. We're not entering a new age. What do the prophets say? What did God reveal to me? We're entering a new era.
Right.
A new era. Not a new era. What? So here's what God said. And with a new era, so actually with a new age, a new era, what happens, right? You get the great falling away. So the new agers, if we go back to one slide, so the new agers are going to do what? Okay, this is so simple to understand. Evil hates God. So when this transition happens, all religions get exposed to be a fraud because religions are man-made, not of God. Jesus Christ is not a religion. He's a king. He's a God, uppercase G. He's the creator. He sits at the right hand of the creator. He was there at creation. He's the Trinity, God the Father, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. They're the Trinity. They're the Trinity that were at creation, that created all these L. Okay, so this is not a battle. This is literally what God's got planned. And so what they're going to do is when the truth comes out that basically all these people, these churches, the 501c3s, this whole system is a scam, the religions are a scam, religion falls, and it's called the Great Falling Away. The Great Falling Away from what? From religion, when they're going to tie religion into God. So there is no God. Right? Yep. And if there is no God, then who's God? We are, right? Yeah. So the New Age teaching is that there is no God because you are God.
Yep, that's where it's going.
No. Years ago, I went to one of these things. I'm like, and I literally was going to scream. I was going to, whatever. It was crazy what I was listening to. But they were literally, they were teaching, the guy up front was teaching that there is no heaven. Heaven's within us. This is his word. These are his words. Heaven's within us, and we are gods. So that's the New Age doctrine.
It is. Yep.
Okay. The simplest definition of it. There is no God. We are gods. And then the great deception later on in the future is when the aliens show up, right? The aliens come in, they're already kind of starting, when you start to hear of aliens, no, they return of crisis soon. But the point is the alien stuff is going to be basically, they're going to basically say that they seeded humanity. They took man, the caveman or whatever, they made it with them. And next thing you know, boom, man was created. So they made man. And so you don't need God, you just need aliens, or aliens are the good guys. And so all of this is a complete flip and lie, okay? But that's how this is all panning out to be. So because this is the great falling away, but at the same time too, with the great falling away, you have the exact opposite happening. You have page 57, you have the greatest revival in human history. Because Haggai 2 verse 9 states the latter rain will be greater than the former. Well, what does that mean? It means that the latter rain would be the 12 apostles or 11. What are they could bring people back to life in the name of Jesus. They restored limbs in the name of Jesus. They restored vision in the name of Jesus. And what's Haggai 2 says, the latter rain, will be greater than that. How cool is that? Okay. Yeah. So in the name of Jesus, who sits at the right hand of God, the Father, the truth, this is the truth. We are going to see incredible the revival of human biblical proportions that you can't explain, because we are going to see all this is starting in 2024. When this event goes down, we're going to start seeing incredible, mind-blowing things that we're witnessing with our own eyes and be recorded on our iPhones or cameras of limbs growing back, people being vision being restored, like masses of people. This is going to happen. Sound crazy? Yes, it's crazy. It's impossible. And that's exactly where my God operates.
This is why we love having you on the show, Bo. You're bringing some good stuff today. So good.
2024 is the year of Bravo. God said to me before I went on stage at Reawaken, he said, tell my children bravo, 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 bravo. Why? Because thank you for hanging in there. Bravo to you for hanging in there, because we're stepping into the greatest blessings in human history. Because Babylon falls, God flips the financial scales. We're going to see 30, 60, 100-fold multiplication of God's money, silver and gold. We're going to see the greatest revival in human history, the greatest awakening in human history. Satan's going to use that as as the confusion. He's going to call it, the age of Aquarius. Okay, but this is the awakening that's happening. The greatest vindications. We're going to see 45 come back really soon. Okay, we're going to see an open heaven. I want to explain what an open heaven is. And the simplest example is, the dam that we talk about. The dam of truth. They have this dam, and they have all these lies behind it. And every time a little, the good news comes out, and then they stick a finger in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Another thing comes out. They stick a finger in it and they distract. Another truth comes out. Stick a finger in that and let's change the topic. Distract. Right. And so they keep sticking fingers in all of this because the 24 hours hasn't arrived on the earth. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. The 24 hour where God intervenes upon the earth has not arrived yet, and so they're in control.
Mm-hmm.
They're in control. That's a beautiful picture. But when God intervenes, that dam breaks. So what that means is an open heaven means the dam breaking is God breaking that dam down and all the truths come out. So in other words, God's going to open that floodgate, but he's not going to open it with a little, no, he's going to blow it open. Okay. It's going to blow open. And when God blows that thing open, no man can shut it.
That's right.
Okay. So when God blows it open, no man can shut it. That's called an open heaven. The other side of the coin is when God shuts a door, no man can open it. So when that event happens, the door on Babylon is shut. And no one can open it. Right now, the door in Babylon is open because they're in control still. We're watching it every single day. That make sense?
Yes.
So I hope that kind of illustrates what I'm trying to go with you here. And so we're using a Roman calendar going all the way back. Let's go to page 11 now. And so understand, we're still in Rome. We're using a Roman calendar. This is all deception. Okay. And now what God shows me is something really awesome. Actually, let's go to page 12 first, and then we'll go back to 11. So page 12 basically talks about the Trump pattern and calculations. This is mind blowing to any reader that reads this. Okay.
That's a lot of sevens.
Yeah. It's just not possible that he picked his birth date. Really? He picked his birth date, right? And then 700 days to the exact day, Israel's proclaimed a state, right? 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days later, he walks in his first day in office, right? None of this is by coincidence. Why? Because it's like the statue of Daniel, right? It's all by design. You see, when a design works out perfectly, they're not coincidences, they're by design. Mm-hmm. So all of these things happening, they're not coincidences. They're just by design. It looks like a coincidence. Oh, that was just, okay, Israel's proclaimed a state, 700 days. Okay, that's a coincidence, okay? At some point when you come to realize that it's mathematically impossible for this to be happening. And so the point is, 700 days, 70 months, he moves the embassy to Jerusalem. And this just happened last week, okay? So those that, don't know, but this literally was last Sunday. 70 years, 7 months to the exact day. Last Sunday was January 14th, Gregorian calendar. And that on that exact day, Robin Bullock, and there was a podcast done with Amanda Grace, Robin Bullock, and a few other people, okay, did a podcast the date was picked by Trump's son, Eric. And they came on the podcast, and on that exact date, Robin Bullock took out oil and anointed 45 for his next term. It blew my mind because I knew something related to Trump was going to happen on that date. I have no idea what it was. And then it's an anointing for next term.
Wow, I missed that. I'll have to check that
it's
out.
on my YouTube channel. One of my YouTube channels right on there. Okay. So now the point I'm trying to make is so all of these things are not possible. And also January 14th, we'll address it right now, but January 14th, last Sunday, Gregorian calendar, not Julian. Gregorian calendar was the 14th, but Julian calendar. January 1, New Year's Day. This Sunday, tomorrow, the 21st of January, Gregorian is specifically, it'll be the 8th day. More importantly, Trump on that day is going to be 77 years, 7 months, and 7 days old. 7777. And on that date, this is crazy. Go back and Google the day Roe v. Wade became law.
Okay.
It was on the 22nd of January, 1973. So the 50-year Jubilee would end the day before.
Wow.
So tomorrow is the last day of the 50-year Jubilee for Roe v. Wade, to the exact day.
Wow.
Point I'm trying to make is because of abortion and Roe v. Wade that we're in this mess 50 years later. When you read Leviticus, it's very clear. God's word will not come back void. Leviticus says, thou shalt consecrate the 50th year and proclaim what? Liberty throughout the land.
Yep.
and to all of its inhabitants. Okay.
Wow.
So we're at a Jubilee time point. We're at specifically a historic time point. So now let's go back to page. So stay on that page, the very bottom there. We're going to now read Exodus 12. How does this happen, Noah? Exodus 12, verse 18. In the first month, January, on the 14th day. That will be next Sunday, the 27th. Gregorian, the Julian calendar. You know what happened? That's the day that you're to slaughter the lamb, put the blood on the door, and that night the angel of death showed up. On that night, the angel of death showed up. What I'm trying to illustrate is when you go to page 11, with the new era comes a new calendar. God is going to, you have to get rid of, page 8 is Satan's calendar. So that's going to be destroyed. We're going to go to a new calendar system. Page 11, based on the Julian calendar. This calendar is 2,060 plus years old. It's the Gregorians they started using 300-400 years ago. This calendar was used during the time of Jesus. If you take, it's actually a prophet, a friend of mine actually referenced this to me, but it's kind of crazy because Julian calendar, what are the two letters? The first two letters of each word. Julian calendar. J-C.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. What I'm trying to illustrate is the Julian calendar is telling us that we're going to see Passover in January. Will it happen? I don't know. I'm just giving you scriptures. When you read Exodus 12, it says on the 14th day of the first month, which would be January 14th, Julian, Gregorian, the next Saturday, the 27th, the evening into the 28th. So does something happen? I don't know. But I find it all fascinating that we're right in the time window. We talked about it for the transition point that they are going to use for their transition point using their god Janus for January, their god of transition. And what are they going to do? They want to transition us into what? Collapse of the dollar, central bank digital currency. That's their plan. That's their plan.
Right.
Okay. And if God has his way, which he will, because he's undefeated, just like he proved to Pharaoh at the Red Sea, just like he proved to the Pharisees at the time of Jesus, they're walking into the greatest trap in history. We don't know the day or hour God's going to strike. But I do find it truly fascinating when you look at all the biblical scriptures, because I would just go back to it is written. And everything I've shown you is written. And on the time windows, I'm just layering into our present time window. And so it's telling us that we're supposed to see something here go down in January still. And their calendar, their god, lowercase g, Janus, is telling us we're stepping into an age of Aquarius. And that's when they potentially would transition us into their new time window, would they not? Right. So how this plays out, I don't know, but I do know that evil's still in charge. I do know that when I read scriptures and then specifically prophecies, they will bring this nation to its knees. That's the King Clement prophecy of like 8, 9, 10 years ago. They will bring this nation to its knees. And then there's a comma that says, what next? And then you will hear the sound of great victory. So let me explain to you what happened. When they killed Jesus, they thought they won. And then we heard the sound of great victory. At the Red Sea, they were pinned up against the Red Sea. God opened the Red Sea, closed it on Pharaoh, and then you hear the sound of great victory. You see, so everything is set up for the greatest trap in human history right now. We just don't see it because 24 hours before the Red Sea opened, Israel thought they were dead, and Pharaoh thought he won. When they killed Christ on the cross, we thought we lost, and evil thought they won. You see what I'm saying? And then suddenly everything changes. So what I'm saying is we're at a transition point of a 2,500-year clock. December ended, but it only just ended based on the Julian calendar. It only ended. Today's the 20th Gregorian. Today's only the 7th Julian. And when things happen, it could be usually within a few days, because we're literally talking a 2,500 year window. This is crazy, right? 2,500 years. There may not be there's going to be a day, but we don't know because it's a secret. But we know it's now, right? That's the best I can tell you. It's something, it's about to go down. So, and in closing, I just did a podcast. If you don't mind reading this, you can probably see a little better. But I just did a podcast with a friend of mine who I get a lot of emails. I don't really respond to too many because I'm so busy with all the things I do. Yep. But I try to scan them a lot of times, and I scanned this one, and Holy Spirit was all over it. And so when I heard the prophecy, I knew this was from God, and it was specifically I was supposed to see it. I just know these things, and so I've had a podcast with her. Her name is Janie, and I just did one with her this morning, and I just got another one from her like 2 days ago, and actually yesterday morning. And when I got all this calendar stuff, all that I've shown you on the calendar, I go to check my emails, and then I get this prophecy from her the moment after I finished all my work. And the prophecy that she gave is a witness to everything I just told you.
Wow.
So if you go to page 16, read page 16, and we'll finish on that. Okay. And then we'll talk on cryptocurrencies. But take the time, go back and listen to what Noah and I spoke about today, and then very clearly listen to this prophetic word.
So 3 days ago, she gets this and she emails it over to you. And this is after you've done all your work on the calendars.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. And so this prophecy is a witness to everything I just told you. So go ahead and read it. And you can see why I'm saying that.
So it says, be on high alert in the next few days when I will have my hand across America and bring her to her knees for all hell to pay. Be prepared both day and night to take flight, get ready, and to fight. For the enemies of old know what cards to play, but know by my hand they will have a terrifying day. For the 24 hours is here to watch and see. My plan is old as time to let my people be free. For I truly tell you, there is nothing new under the sun. Now watch and see as one leader drops. And will they run? Yes, they will run as fast as they can. For I do bring down kings, for this is my plan. The clock is ticking. The hands of time are moving fast to bring back all that was lost in the past. So be on alert from this day onward, and you will see all that you have heard. 24 hours is here, 24 hours is here, 4 hours is here, and whom do you fear? Get yourselves in order and walk into my love, for surely the times and seasons are sent from above. Make a new way for the coming of the king. Now is the time for my people to cheer, and do you hear the bells ring? It is here, it is here. Just believe, for my glory shall be to those who are my children. So shout and sing. North Korea, you have been warned, your days have been numbered. Take heed. For the blast of my nostrils will surely come down onto you. For this is no time for frivolous games with my people, for we are one in unity upon my steeple. Hope shall shine in this hour, but know to the evil ones a huge loss of power. For I do and have my death angel to pass. Exterminatus, and those who...
Yeah, that means that I Google it basically means to exterminate. So this is going to be, God's going to use the death angel to exterminate.
And to those who have been faithful, only my love will last. To those who have been seated in high places, I will surely have you removed from all classes and races. For you shall be erased from this timeline that I have set up now. Now is the time to give up. Run to me in whom I am all graceful and true, and I will show you that with me, my love will see you through the darkest hours that have ever known upon mankind, but I will surely make a way to whom that are mine. Wow, that's incredible.
And so when you go back and listen to what we talked about, and then you read this prophecy, it's like, whoa, wow. You got to just say, whoa. That's what God says. He goes, woe to you. I'm saying woe to you. But it really is the truth. Something's about to go down. And they will bring this nation to its knees why? Because they're going to potentially I believe they're going to do it in the month of their God, Janus.
So yeah,
transition God.
January, and then so you got this on January 17th, and it starts off by saying in the next few days. So we're sure right in that window. Yeah.
A week, 10 days, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Whatever. We don't know. But typically, it's not 6 months from now, I guess would be the way to describe that, right? It's not in June. So it's all the lady's name is Janie. If you want to ever check her out on Twitter, she doesn't have a lot. She's she's just starting, but God's been using her like crazy. And so I just wanted to share this word because God does nothing before first speaking to his servants, the prophets. This is not her opinion. This is the word of God through Janie. Twitter is Janie 777. But this is God's word through a prophet.
Wow.
Take it for what it is. And all I know is everything I've laid out to you, Noah, and discussed with you with regard to time. Revelation is a reveal. We're always learning. But this is the latest that I've been able to piece together. And actually page 17 is kind of fun too, because they actually just updated the death. Was it the doomsday clock last year, January 24th?
Yep.
It's interesting that I just realized this the other day. It was 70. The doomsday clock has been ticking for 76 years. It's just, and you want another 7? This year is 7-7. Like, it's just crazy, you know? So I'm just saying all of this there's no coincidences in all of this. It's because it's by design. I've given you some prophetic words to work with, to be out there, to be a second witness to what we talked about in this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
How it all plays out, it's in God's perfect design and timing. But the timing is, I could just continue to use the word imminent. And I find that I do know that they are still in control. So if they're going to be using their calendar, I find the month of Janus rather interesting, and we can leave it at that. And then from here, we can just talk about it, the finances or cryptos as well too. But I hope I've done a nice explanation, and I really enjoy speaking with you, Noah, because you are very well researched. So whenever I say things, you're like right on it. Just like, I know, and you actually write articles about it, on your podcast. You actually write articles, on your website about all the things we talk about.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I love having you on the show, because we can put this, we get this all down in a video. We post that video out there, and then we can go back and look at it and see how these things play out. So it's wonderful to do these shows with you. Well, Bo, let me go down, because I know I'm going to get a lot of angry emails if I don't ask you where we're going with crypto and everything. It's been a wild start to the year already. Bitcoin looking like it was about to just go to the moon there for a little bit. We got the Bitcoin ETF approved. And I know you're not really a news guy. You look at the cycles of time, but it's funny how those news events line up right with those cycles of time. So what are you seeing for the next cycles, or the cycles we're in right now? Maybe I'll get down here to maybe this one.
All I can say is this, okay? Those who have my work, the crypto reports, know what I show. I am farther, if you want perfection, go to Jesus. But on the other side of it, the accuracy that we have done with our crypto reports, Noah, are mind-blowing. I know you get them. We have had, the accuracy is incredible. And that's why I enjoy doing this, because it actually gives me a picture of what's coming. Not events, but when you see a big drop to the downside, you know that something big happens. When you see a big move to the upside coming, you know something big's coming. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So the cycles show us either big things coming sooner rather than later, but we have a very good guesstimate of when they're going to go down, sometimes to the exact day. Like the crazy one, which comes to my mind, was when we said the FTX crash in October. We're saying, watch the 7th or I think the 8th of November, Bitcoin's going to break support at 19 and collapse on the 8th, roughly the 8th, give or take. And it was actually, I think it was on the 8th exactly of November, it plummeted through 19 and collapsed to 14,000 to the exact day. Mm-hmm. I knew there was going to be a big event because of the drop. I didn't know what was going to cause it. And the next day or 2 days that we found it was FTX, right? The point I'm trying to make is there's nothing, this is the thing about when you study, like people talk about, we got to be careful what we do for the future because, this could happen or that could happen. No, please understand, people. The biggest lie Satan wants you to know is that tomorrow's random. Mm. There is no random tomorrow. If tomorrow were random, the kingdoms of Babylon, Persia, Greece, the papacy, United States, none of that prophecy would have happened if tomorrow was random. Think about that. Mm-hmm. If tomorrow was random, none of the prophecies would have ever happened, been fulfilled. But because the future isn't random, it's by design, all the prophecies have happened so far. And so now we're still waiting for the fall of Babylon, but that's about to go down here, okay? So what I'm trying to say is the charts are the same reason the charts are not random. You can predict them. That's why people subscribe. Why? Because it's accurate. Highly accurate. Okay. And so what? Buy the rumor, sell the news. Look, what did the cycle say? Mm-hmm. On January 10th, the market's going to top and then turn down. Huh.
Yep. Yeah, I love getting your reports, Bo. They're always incredible.
You go look at point 3. Point 3 was in what? It was in August. So 0.3. So the top cycle, just to let you people know what you're looking at, the top cycle is, this happened years ago. I don't tell people where God tells me to look, but he tells me exactly where to look. Okay. So I know the cycle to pull. So I pull a cycle and then all I use is compare candlesticks and count days. It's not that complicated, right? But you need to know where to look. That's the complicated part. And so when you look at 0.3, look at 0.4. The top was history years ago. The bottom chart, you don't need to be a mad scientist to understand this. Simply look, can you count to 5, right? Mm-hmm. Look at the green 3, 4, and 5. The top was history. The bottom was August, September.
Mm-hmm.
The exact pattern with the exact amount of days. And you had this, Noah. And then what happened at 0.5? The 0.5 was a September low. I think it was around the 26th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Bitcoin started an up pattern. It went up all the way into what? November's at the 28th, I think I have there, the 20th. Mm-hmm. It went up into the 28th. And that wrote, watch Bitcoin drop for 2 days. Oh, it dropped for 2 days. What a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Into 0.2. I wasn't guessing. I was writing in the report what history did. I wrote in the report, history tells us Bitcoin will drop for 2 days into November 30th. It did.
Mm-hmm.
And then history tells us that Bitcoin is going to rally up into January 10th. In that exact amount of days.
Mm-hmm.
It did. Just a coincidence. Okay, none of this is pride and arrogance. I'm trying to illustrate, because if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't do this stuff, okay? God shows me where to look. All glory to him, but he uses me to show the people to what? Fear not. Because tomorrow's not random. Tomorrow is by design. God wrote the end from the beginning. So the future's already written. What's not written, and this is critical, what side of the fence are you sitting on when Christ shows up?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a new ager? Or are you in the new era? Loving Christ on your knees. You see, that's the point. What side of the fence are you sitting on? And so that takes us back to the report. So Bitcoin's in a down cycle. As expected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not going to reveal how long it goes down for because that's in my report. I can give it all away, but I'm trying to point out that nothing's random. That's it. There's nothing else to say. Nothing's random. The down cycle was expected. It's happening right now. It's going to continue down until X amount of days, which is in the report. And then guess what? It's going to turn back up again. And then a fun day's coming.
Yeah, we have to be respectful to all your subscribers that do pay for your report, but I get the report and there's some exciting stuff coming up. So I'm very excited to see those days coming up here. If you want to get Bo's newsletter, you don't have to. Of course, we have a lot of people that just watch his interviews and get so much value out of this, and that's good enough for them. But if you're one of the people that says, I want to know what's going on, show me the rest of it, you could certainly subscribe to that. You go to gold2020forecast.com. And when you get in there, as you're going through to sign up, there's going to be a box for a code. And if you put in WLT49, it's going to take 50% off of the cost of subscribing. This is what Bo does for his job. We all have our jobs, and a lot of people go to a job every day. This is what Bo does. So he gives a lot of stuff away for free. He comes on and chats with me for an hour. But if you want the service he provides, that's his job. So you can subscribe to that if you like. I know I get it. And I always tell people, this is my favorite part. Go just like, these interviews, they're out there on the internet. You can go back and watch the old ones and see how things turned out. Same thing with Bo's reports. When you log in, when you sign up, you'll get in there and you don't just get the new stuff. The old stuff's in there too. So you can go back and see just how accurate he was with things. And that's a lot of fun going back and looking at those and seeing the history there. So that's fun. And then, Bo, you've also got, I've heard from a lot of people that are enjoying this and it's just what they needed. We got a lot of people that listen to these interviews and, they're saying, I'm right on. I'm with you. I know that, things are going to crypto and I know I probably need to get some. I just don't know where to start and I don't want to do it wrong. And I don't want to make a mistake or fall victim to some sort of fraud or scam or something. So if that's you, and if you don't even know step one of where to start, you want to go to easycryptoschool.com. That's a school that Bo and his son put together. Really cool. They built it from scratch, and it'll tell you exactly how to get started, how to do it safely, how to do it the right way, and how to not make mistakes, because mistakes in crypto can be very costly if you send something to the wrong address or any number of things. So go ahead and go there. And same thing for that. You can use the code when you're signing up. Look for the box that says put in your code, put in WLT49, and it's going to save you 50% off of that. So Bo, always appreciate you giving that to people. And as always, there is an expiration date on those. So if you feel like it's something you want, go ahead and grab that before the codes do expire, because they do click off after just a little bit. So go ahead and grab that now. I wish we could get into more details, but we do have to be respectful to your subscribers. But there are some really fun days coming up. Should we just put it at that, Bo?
You see, all of this is coming, and it's actually, there's timing on all of this. And so just like the prior cycles have shown us really clearly, like I've shown you, the cycles, they precede events. So events are going to come. When we see a sharp drop in Bitcoin, for example, there's an event that causes that. When you see a Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies explode in price, or gold and silver explode in price, there's an event that causes that, right? So there's events coming. So yes, there are events coming that are going to cause price movement in both directions, okay? But ultimately, once God intervenes, it's the breaking of the dam. So this is going to be a historic time point, because why? We're stepping into a third seal. The third seal, by definition, is a worldwide phenomenon. So it's worldwide. So it affects the entire globe, just like Corona did, just like the rioting did. It's a worldwide phenomenon. So this financial event is going to be worldwide. Okay, and it comes suddenly, as all the other ones did. Okay, and so this event's going to be tied into the third part, which is mystery, the fall of Mystery Babylon. The fall of Mystery Babylon is in the Revelation 18, Babylon the Great, she has fallen, she become a dwelling place for demons. So we're stepping into that time point, and it's all different scriptures, but the same time point. So Revelation 18 is Daniel 2, verse 34, but the stone carved up by no human hand is the fall of Mystery Babylon, is the same time point as the third seal of Revelation. Three different scriptures all talking about the same time point. And why? Like I said earlier, unless the US dollar loses status as world reserve currency, Babylon stands. They built Babylon with the money. So unless the money system fails, falters, collapses, right, the Babylon stands. Good or bad? Well, how do you like what's going on right now? Because what you got going on right now is a Roman Empire.
Yeah, it never went away.
Never went away. It's a Roman Empire in hiding that never went away. It's still in controlling, enslaving humanity, and that's all what it's about. So the point I'm trying to make is, you know, you can see with the charting. You know, I give a ton of information, tons. We talk for an hour here, everything for free. Why? Because I want the world to know what's coming. I literally, like, I don't need to do the charting because I know it's coming. I know I just do it. I do it really because people ask me to do it, but not everybody needs it. Like, people don't need it, but a lot of people want it, right? So it's like, it's one of the things where it's up to you if you want to get anything. But the point of what we talk about is very simple, you know, prepare food and water, gold and silver, cryptocurrencies, okay? That's how you prepare, right? Well, and then on top of all that is know Jesus Christ, because bottom line is you can have, I did a podcast with Jim the other day. You at some point, this is so important to understand. There's people like, oh, I love crypto, right? They're going to be bajillionaires. I don't even know what that is, right? Whatever. But this is a guy with a lot of money, okay? There's guys who are going to have a lot of money in crypto. They're like, whoa, I'm loaded, right? What are you going to do with it? Because you're ultimately, and then remember Fall of Babylon? Age of Aquarius is going to be very simple. It's rah, rah, joy, joy. This is the age of Aquarius, right? Everything's great. But when you read the study of time, understand time, the age of Aquarius says we're in the 1,000-year reign. We're in the age of Aquarius is the deception. It wants you to think that we are in a 1,000-year millennial reign. Rah, rah, joy, joy, happy, joy, joy, right? What does a new era tell us? And the Bible tells us that this is only the third of 7 seals. And then Christ shows up. So there's no peace on the earth until Christ returns. So my point about the cryptos, if you don't got gold and silver, as good as cryptos are, they're good right now. The US dollar was great until Nixon took us off the gold standard. right? Because then it became a fraud. The cryptos are great until the mark of the beast comes out. Because when you read Revelation, it talks about, and then I saw another beast rise up from the earth that made the inhabitants worship the first beast, Mystery Babylon, whose mortal wound, who's just going to get killed, whose mortal wound was healed. And so you're going to need the mark of the beast to log into the internet, because Obama turned over the internet to who? The United Nations, the last thing he signed before he left office. So basically the bottom line is you're going to need the mark of the beast to go see all your bajillions. That's why you have to understand that before all this, you need to know Christ.
Yeah, that's good.
And the wealth transfer that's coming is the third seal of Revelation, because cryptos are good right now. Gold and silver are the best, the ultimate money. Okay. But all of it, the financial system is going to flip. Okay. And cryptocurrencies are going to do phenomenal. Many will go to absolute zero. So you need to know which coins to have. Okay. Because there's, I think, 10,000 coins, of which I think 9,900 are going to go to zero.
Right.
That's not funny. It's true, because you don't need 10,000 cryptocurrencies. You might need 50, maybe 100. Okay.
Right.
So that's what's coming. That's what's coming.
I think something else is coming.
My little dog showed up.
Who do you got there?
Come here. Want to say hi, everybody? Come here. Want to say hi? Oh, he's not going to show himself. If I leave him here, I might poke up. Yeah.
Camera shy.
There he is, right there.
Hey, there we go. Oh, that's great.
There's a little Rocky.
Oh, now that's good.
You having fun? You having a good day? Yeah, playtime, right? Can you understand?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
All right, Bo. I think he's looking to go play with you. But hey, thank you. It's always great having you on the show, Bo. Our guest today has been Bo Polny, and he dropped a lot of information today, a lot of brand new stuff. So go ahead, grab those slides. They're below this video. If you want his newsletter, you can go get it. You don't have to. We're going to be watching. We're in for some exciting times. The time is here, and we're waiting and we're watching for that 24-hour period.
Yeah. In closing, regardless of whatever they do to strike, however this plays out, this is the point to understand. Fear not, God the Father is in complete control. Okay. So, and so when Jesus died on the cross, all the apostles fled. Scary, right? Scary time point. They all fled. At Israel, at the Red Sea, they were freaked out. They got an army coming at them, ready to kill them. They were freaked out. Okay. So expect something crazy to go down. It's going to be scary.
That's the final word. All right, Bo.
It's going to be scary. And then you will hear the sound of great victory. Fear not.